Y'all see if y'all can do a little better this time.
All right, yeah.
Just remember, no pressure, but anybody messes up is fired, okay?
Yeah.
Everything rolling?
Yep.
Right. This song is called Dream Big, Live Small. Well, I dream big, but I live small. I left my heart in Tampa Bay by a seaside ocean wall. And I said, well, I don't want a wedding, just take me down to City Hall. 'Cause I dream big, but I live small. I dream big, but I live small. I left my soul in Galilee, where the sons of thunder brought. And I said, well, Lord, don't let me rise until you teach me how to fall. 'Cause I dream big, but I live small. One day I'll wake up and see what's wrong, and then I'll write my life down in another song. I wanted love but messed it up in a nightclub bathroom stall. 'Cause I dream big, but I live small. Well, I dream big, but I live small. I left my heart in California, and now she never calls. And I had dreams of introducing her to good old Ma and Pa. 'Cause I dream big, but I live small. Yeah, I live small.
Yeah, you don't know what annual means.
Well, this certainly isn't our first rodeo. We told you we'd see you on the Eagle. Welcome back to the bus. Grant Starr, Justin Grimes here. We're welcoming We Three Strings to the bus.
We Three Strizangs.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us here.
Great to be here.
Go down the line, introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
All right, I'm Jason Baker.
Sheldon Benjamin.
I'm Zach Rogers.
I'm Justin Grimes.
We
are We Three Strings.
Isn't this your bus, Justin?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying people all know who you
It
are.
happens to be that it is my bus. It is
We're only on
indeed.
episode 4, so I mean, we're just trying to get everything. You know,
We're on episode 4.
trying to
That's
set
why we
that
bought
repetition.
3 all in here.
I see.
Yeah.
We can fit everybody on the Eagle, so that's nice. So you guys just performed a couple of originals for us. I want you to talk about those 4 songs. Hit it, Sheldon.
All right, so I guess I wrote.
Yeah,
wrote them all.
you wrote them. We just helped you.
Yeah, they helped a lot with the arranging. I think the one tune that we've been performing a lot is Dream Big, Live Small. I was living in California for a little while and kind of still had my heart back here in Florida.
Also, I watched a movie called Inside Llewyn Davis, about kind of a folk singer who wasn't kind of like hitting his stride the way he wanted to, and I kind of resonated with some of that. So it inspired me to try to put together, I guess, like my version of what a folk song would sound like. And in the movie, he throws in some like biblical references. I've always liked that in music, like Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. So I tried to throw in some of that as well. But yeah, that was mostly the gist of where that song came from. It was having big dreams, but still kind of like not really hitting the mark, living small, doing things the way that still feel comfortable, you know? So, we're We Three Strings. This song is called 100 Feet Tall.
Oh.
It's always me. Let me turn this
One more
off here.
time.
You know what? Now that you're saying that, see, I wanted to fully make fun of you, but then I realized I ain't got my shit on sound.
Because I would have gone back there and caught
Last time we were recording, Justin's phone kept going off, but it was the pizza man waiting outside. He couldn't get inside.
He was trying to wait to deliver, and I was like, quit calling me.
Just let me go. Don't make things worse. You already know how much this hurts. And I tried so hard to work through this pain. When I hear your voice, it hurts again. 'Cause they say that the bigger that you are, the harder that you fall. They say the bigger that you are, the harder that you fall. They say the bigger that you are, the harder that you fall. So why'd you have to go and make me feel 100 feet tall? It's the way that hearts like mine break. To love you again would be a mistake. And now that you're gone, and I've learned to heal, well, I wrote a song about the things that you never did feel. And I hope you find just what you need. And I hope you still think of me. 'Cause they say that the bigger that you are, the harder that you fall. They say the bigger that you are, the harder that you fall. They say the bigger that you are, the harder that you fall. So why'd you have to go and make me feel? Why'd you have to go and make me feel? Why'd you have to go and why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go so far away? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go so far away? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go so far
Kind of looking back on it, you get a little older and wiser and realize that you're not entitled to somebody loving you just because you did things for them. But that song was back when I thought that's how it worked, you know?
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Oh, sorry.
Does anybody in the
No wonder I'm still single.
Does anybody know how it works?
Still single.
I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure that out.
Right.
but-
Yeah.
We'll all go down together, I guess.
Yeah.
That song
What was
came
this girl's
from.
name?
That
Do
girl.
we want to give her the time of day to even mention her on Silver Eagle sessions? That's the thing, because this, you know,
Is she
No.
worth it?
is she worth it? That's the question that I have to ask. Because most every song
You got to decide
Probably
now.
not.
about-
I
Yeah.
She
think
said probably not.
No, I think I remember the song in that situation more than like the person, you know, like what it meant to me. And that might sound a little selfish, but like, sure, she was like a actual important part of my life at the time, but the song stuck around and she didn't. So,
Did she take your virginity?
No.
Okay. All right, just
We're going to edit that part out.
No. All right. We Three Strings. The song is called Isolation. Afternoon coffee. It's quiet inside. Here in my bedroom. Here in my mind. I'm isolated. I'm thinking of when I last got to hold you. And it was Valentine's then. Soon we'll be together. Soon we'll be allowed to hold hands. Maybe slow dance. We'll make some big plans, but we will never take for granted being so close. Kisses on your nose, turning off our phones, but we will never take for granted until then. Just isolation. I'm writing down songs I think that you'd like. I put pen to paper, and this flickering light, it makes me remember the apartment I had when I first made you dinner, and you made me laugh. Soon we'll be together. Soon we'll be allowed to hold hands, maybe slow dance, make some big plans, but we will never take for granted being so close. Kisses on your nose, turning off our phones, but we will never take for granted until then. Just isolation. I'm counting down days till none of this feels real. I hop on the plane, whisper your name right to your face. Maybe a movie night will get the feeling right. You put your hand in mine instead of over FaceTime, and we will hold hands. We will slow dance. We'll make some big plans, but we will never take for granted being so close. Kisses on your nose, turning off our phones, but we will never take for granted until then. Just isolation until then. Just isolation. And then the last song was the one I did by myself, was Isolation. And that actually was probably one of my more recent tunes that I actually like. I was in a long distance relationship with a girl who had moved to New York, right about the time COVID hit, and then we were quarantined, and we couldn't travel, and eventually she just kind of like cut things off, and I was like, hey, it's gonna be good when we can do these things again. And ultimately I walked away with this feeling of like, hey, I'm never gonna take for granted the moments that we were able to have together, instead of FaceTime conversations constantly. And everybody experienced that during COVID and quarantine and lockdown.
We like stories. We like stories about the songs. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm sure everyone's enjoyed them very much, and once again, thank you for joining us on the Eagle. Remember, if you're an artist that wants to get on the bus as well, they've set the bar high. They've set the bar very high, so you see the level of talent that we're bringing in, and the level of just the acoustic nature of this vibe that Justin, we always talk about this. Just real quick, Justin, what are some of the things that you've been doing on the Eagle to get it like ready to fly again, to get out there on the road? You've got a new suspension.
Yeah, we got some stuff for the suspension. That's been the big job so far that we haven't been able to get to. It's expensive, and it's physically a big job. I mean, we got a spring in for the rear drive, or the drive axle on the bus, and it weighs about 350 pounds on its own. So I mean, it's generally just huge, the job in general. But yeah, we're getting close. It should be, hopefully, we're hoping to be able to be mobile by the end of the year. So
Thank you so much for following us, and we'll be right back with more Three Strings Band.
Three Strings Band.
And we'll be right back with We Three Strings.
Two-time state fiddle champion Jason Baker here on the Eagle.
That's
Jason,
not exactly true. That has been said for a while. But
what's wrong with what I'm saying? Tell me
that's
about
not exactly true. I think when I was working with Brian Sutherland's when that started, because it was just easier to say.
No,
but
sir, it's not when that started, because I was calling you that before. When we were playing
so
together,
you were the
if
one
you remember,
that did it.
I was playing with you before Brian Sutherland.
Okay, well that might have been
Shout
true.
out to be so.
I got to say the reality of it was I won the Florida State Fiddle Championship.
One-time state fiddle champion.
Right, and it was either in 03, I think it's 02 or 03, I can't remember which year. You can look on the Florida Fiddler Association, they post that stuff. But it's like basically the next year I won Yeehaw Junction, which was harder because they paid more prize money at the time. That fiddle contest doesn't exist anymore, the Yeehaw Junction.
They priced it out.
But it didn't sound impressive. Like being the Yeehaw Junction Fiddle Champion doesn't sound
impressive,
as
or it didn't sound
It didn't sound impressive,
okay,
I don't think. So at some point, somebody decided that I was two-time Florida State Fiddle Champion, but that is not actually documentable.
Listen,
that's not
Jason and I have
documented.
been playing music together, which he's obviously playing with this band the last few years. But Jason and I have been playing music together, and we grew up in the same town together.
Yep,
And,
old Fort Mudd.
So I don't even remember what I was going to say.
And that's different now because...
Well, you see, the difference here is, Jason.
Tell me about who else has won Florida State champion fiddle player.
There's been a bunch. I mean, I
Josh
know
won per year.
Joshua Headley won it, I think, one time.
Shout out to Mr. Jukebox, man. That's
yeah.
the shit. I love him.
Yeah, I
He's
think
good.
he won it one time I'd seen because I saw his name on there and just totally didn't connect. And then Jason Barry, I think, won it a time or two, which was Dole Lawson's fiddle player for a while. And then I think now he's with...
So when did you pick it up?
I picked up fiddle late. Like I teach orchestra now for the school system, and I can tell you, my kids start at in sixth grade, fifth, sixth grade. I didn't start playing. I didn't own a fiddle until I think I was a freshman or sophomore.
So were you playing the piano and guitar before, or what? Was that your musical
Piano,
entry?
yeah. My dad's a pianist. So
Okay.
actually, like Justin's mom plays in churches, and my dad played in churches.
They're
the same
competing
time.
musicians. In
Yeah,
the church scene.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, just basically grew up singing in chorus and playing piano a little bit, but never really took lessons. Just it was around. And I literally there was these old guys down the road that had this little jam on. It was Tuesday or Thursday night. I can't remember which one. I want to say it was Tuesday night. But basically, they play all these old country songs and stuff, and I'm like, man, that seems a lot of fun. We don't get to do all that, and it's not like that. And I was like, man, I think I want to play something with bluegrass. And originally, I asked, I was like, I think I wanted to play banjo, and I went down there at Sherman's house, and he goes, "Oh, to play banjo, you got to learn how to play guitar." I'm like, "I don't play guitar. My brother plays guitar. Everybody plays guitar. I don't play guitar." I'm like, "What about that?" And I pointed at the fiddle. He goes, "Oh no, that's a whole different deal. You don't have to play guitar to play it." I was like, "Well, that's what I want to play then." Because I was so dead set against playing guitar.
And
but the reality is,
brought you all the way to Silver Eagle Center.
that's right. Yeah, 30 years of business. Look at me now. No, but ended up going and playing Pigeon Forge, working in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area.
I went to jail there one time.
I'd have no doubt.
I've had some good times.
That's a true story. I did. We'll talk about that one day.
No, but yeah, and just doing the whole, review show. And it's really true. There's never enough fiddle players. There's just
not.
There's
It's
never
It's like
enough
pedal
fiddle
steel.
players.
It's a dying art.
In this local area where we are, especially being a musician in this local area, they are very few and far between. There's, there are some that play fiddle, but then there's true violinists like Jason Baker over here.
Oh no, I classical is not my strong suit. I mean,
That was a joke. He's a fiddler.
Yeah, I am definitely a much better fiddle player than a classical violinist for sure.
Indeed. Feel free to put yourself over.
Zach, all right, it's time to get to you for a little bit. So typically you'd be playing upright bass.
Yeah,
What
I've
you're
been playing the
today.
full-size upright bass.
Yeah.
Got the electric upright with me.
Yeah, budget cuts are real.
Yeah, budget cuts are real. They are
Once
a real
again,
thing.
like kind of a classic old-timey instrument. How did you fall into that? Like,
I started playing when I was in middle school. It was, honestly, we had a couple weeks in band, a couple weeks in orchestra, a couple weeks in chorus. And my orchestra director, Mrs. Neal, she played the Jaws theme on bass, and I went, "I want to play that. That's mine." And that's pretty much how it started.
so how did you get hooked up with these jokers? Tell us about like what.
Well, I was playing with Brian Sutherland, and then Jason
Everybody
Baker
name
joined.
dropping Brian Sutherland.
Well, I mean, he's everywhere now these days.
You're right. No, Brian Sutherland. Yeah, he's a good guy.
And Jason Baker joined that outfit, and then I moved over to a different band by the name of the Apple Butter Express. And
I remember that name. Yeah.
Well, then you found Sheldon, so talk about that. But.
Yeah. So it was a little bit coming back through Lakeland and playing a little bit, and Jason had worked with Sheldon a couple times at Peak Piano over in Lakeland for some jam sessions and stuff like that.
They used to be my favorite sports bar, DC's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love DC's, but yeah.
So-
And we just started jamming, and then
No,
got a
I
phone
will
call.
tell you my outlook of this story is basically what happened was, like, Zach was working with Apple Butter. I was not working with them yet. Brian Sutherland moved to Nashville, and we used to gig all the time, like as a trio quartet kind of thing. And I'm sitting there going, man, and I think I was commiserating on the phone with Zach. I'm like, man, we weren't having all these gigs. We ain't got no gigs anymore. I'm like, we need to find us another singer. Like, so, and I walked into like Pink Piano and heard Sheldon singing like a canary, up there with whoever you were sitting in with. It was like the open mic thing they used to do, and he'd come in there all the time. And I was like, this seems pretty good. And so I went, and the first time I think I talked to you, like you didn't have time for that. You were like, I was like, hey, I'm Jason Baker. And we're looking for a singer. And they're like, I gotta go.
He's like, who's this? Who is this Polk County
I
guy?
think the problem there was like that was my first foray into performing music, like at all. I was probably like 25, 26 or something, and I picked up these open mics. Like I was calling them and being like, "Hey, you guys got open mic?" Because I didn't know anybody in Lakeland, so I started going out there, and like over the course of like a month or two, there were so many people that were just like interacting with each other, and I couldn't keep track. So I didn't necessarily like know how this would have played out.
Right.
And also, when
What you're saying is you didn't know if I was full of crap or not.
I didn't know you. I mean,
Well, and then come to find out, yeah, he is.
Totally is. Yeah, always has been. And
Tell us.
but y'all got lucky, because I will say, because this dude right here, like and I mean this legitimately, he's one of the best songwriters that I've heard. Like he's got just the continuity in his songs.
It's mesmerizing. It's poetic.
It grabs you the whole way through. Yeah, it's just really smooth songwriting, and then the way you present it, obviously, is really smooth. So you got the whole thing.
That was my next question. Obviously, you're coming up with the lyrics. Is your songwriting process? Is it like a to B?
I think it just starts with like a mood, and finding a chord to start that mood off with. But it is, you just sit down with a guitar, you're in a mood, you try to find that chord and see where it takes you,
So I like the way you put that. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like with writing, I majored in English, so, and I teach language arts now, so it's like we do a lot with like theme and motif. What is the message going to be? So it's like if I can figure out that message before I want to like write the lyrics out, that makes it a little easier too.
You need something to shape it with.
Yeah,
it's a mold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then after that, you just bring the music to me and Jason,
Yeah.
and we just.
You shine it right up.
Yeah.
Well, I would say shine.
Get your shine
There's
box.
another S word we did.
Tell us about your first gig. Was it a disaster, or did you feel like you walk off
The
stage?
first
feeling
gig that we
confident?
had together.
Like as a band?
Yes, as a band.
Oh, so
What else would we mean,
wasn't it?
Jason?
Yeah.
it was at Swan Brewing.
Was
It was Swan Brewing.
Okay.
And the booker, Becky Abel, props to her. She books over there and whatever. And they kept after me about like she had booked it with me, and I'm like, look, I don't know. I'll put something together. But she kept bugging me about a name. And so I never gave her a name. So we walk up, and on the billboards, the Jason Baker Trio. Like that's what it says. Because that was Swan Brewing,
That
right?
was Swan, and
Yeah.
I was like,
And they were immediately like, what? Like they just had this look on their face.
You're not in charge of this.
Well, what was really funny was when you contacted me. I was like, "Hey, I got this gig with this guitar player and singer. It's a lot of the stuff that we were doing with previous bands, so it's nothing too hard. Are you in for it?" I'm like, "Yeah, why the hell not?"
I think the biggest thing was when you're working with various groups, you get that flow right with shows. Even a 3-hour gig, it's all got. And there was a lot of like, "What do you want to do?" I don't know. What do you want to do? Like the first gig was
this
that.
too?
There was
I
a
don't know
lot
this
of there
too.
was
You
a
know
lot of
this?
like play a song and then
the thing that I always remember about that gig, and it was the first time we had played together performing. I hadn't really played with caliber of level of musicians as these two guys are, and they're very accomplished and really good.
Brings a tear to a glass.
Sometimes.
Well, and for me, I was coming in.
Let's keep going.
I was coming in just knowing my songs and the things that I knew, and like the things that they were putting on top of it were really, really cool. So it made me feel really comfortable playing. And I think it was the last song we were doing was Thinking Out Loud.
Thinking out loud, yeah.
Oh, I know this. Okay,
There it is.
So they used to do this song with Brian, and what he likes to do is start playing show tunes all over it. So he
like
throws
theme
in
songs from TV shows.
He throws in Flintstones, like he throws in Sanford and Sons.
Any memorable melody.
Eventually, he started throwing in the Popeyes theme song. But the first time he was doing this, Zach starts laughing, and he's kind of like smiling, laughing back at him. And the whole time, I'm like, "Oh my god, they hate me. They think I'm terrible."
It was like this is like the sensual
thought they were
song that's
laughing at
happening.
I thought they were laughing
literally
at me.
thought we were laughing at
It's
him.
like
And
this
I
really
walked
nice-
off, and I was like, "Man, I guess I just suck." Like
No, he literally, and honestly,
I
you
felt
didn't
bad.
tell us that immediately. You know,
No,
it was like
no.
months later.
Yeah.
It was months later. It was
I was
like, and
you guys
I
were
felt
laughing at me.
awful.
I was just
Man,
like,
we were really assholes that day.
I guess just no more gigging with these guys, But then he called me back, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, we'll see where this goes."
And then you were the king.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden you held the leverage.
yes, I learned how to a point.
What are you going to do now, Baker?
I guess find another.
Move on down the line.
Well, you know what they say: there ain't never been a horse that couldn't be rode, and there ain't never been a cowboy that couldn't be throwed. You know?
Oh, it's getting hot on the Eagle. I tell you what, literally,
It is getting hot,
It's full
yeah.
of hot air. That's for
It's
damn
hot
sure.
as shit.
So we keep it real on Silver Eagle Sessions. Welcome back to episode 4. We Three Strings. Grant Starr, Justin Grimes here on the Eagle. Tell everyone what you just did.
So, I made a mistake. I'm man enough to admit that I made a mistake.
First time for everything.
It's the first time for everything. I forgot to turn the camera on over there, so we're going to redo this.
You got it. We Three Strings on the Eagle. So here's the thing, guys. This is what I've been waiting to ask you the entire interview, honestly. Like, who are your favorite Ninja Turtle? Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
I'd have to say Donatello.
Leonardo.
I'm gonna have to say Mikey.
Figures.
I mean,
Mike with the pies. Yeah, so Michelangelo definitely me for sure.
Isn't that Michelangelo?
There's no need to get technical.
I mean, Jason.
Michelangelo.
He was a party animal for real.
I was
But I'm
always
not
into
surprised.
Leonardo when I was a kid. I may have told y'all this story before at some point. But
Is
yeah,
this
he
gonna
was
be a long story?
He was
It's
the
always
one
funny
I
about
was
that
into.
podcast.
He had the swords, you know, and nobody
Thomas.
whoops anybody with swords.
Good talk, everyone.
Indeed. So, we three strings, all three of you. What are your musical goals? Where do you want to take this band?
I'd say I would like us to get to being a festival band, and then also finish some more recording, get some more content out there.
I like money. To keep a good band together, you got to have a real good gimmick. I use money. Yeah. Money's
I like
a pretty
money.
good one.
Yeah.
And
Money-
something, dozens of
yeah.
dollars, and
Yeah. I have heard that you can make dozens of dollars in a year.
That's right.
working
You
as a
can make
musician.
tens
Yeah.
of dollars
Yeah.
to travel hundreds of miles to practice thousands of hours.
Why would everybody not be doing this?
I
I
know,
mean,
right?
I don't know. I mean,
The luxury that comes with being a musician. is incredible.
look at this spacious accommodation
We got
we have
five
right
guys.
now.
We got 5 guys in here.
It was so cramped in here, I went ahead and cut half his mix out.
Zach's been saving up to get the rest of that bass.
Yeah, judging by the way we're going, it'll probably be about another 10, 15 years before I finally pay it off.
So, gentlemen, we're talking about growing your social medias. Go ahead and tell everyone your YouTube, your preferred social media method, how you'd like to be booked for upcoming gigs, and all that fun stuff.
Spit it out.
So the best way usually to get a hold of us is through Facebook. That way we all have the Messenger app on there, and we can all see it. That way there's no discrepancy.
And
on
then we'll
dates and
fight
times.
who has to
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
We'll argue about who gets to book this one.
Yeah. And
It's
that's
like,
on,
no, you said something first. You're handling it.
that's Facebook. We Three Strings Facebook, and the 3 is all
Spelled
spelled
out.
out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Spelled out, okay.
everything's
Then
spelled
our
out.
YouTube and Instagram is We Three Strings Lakeland, all spelled out, no spaces, no underscores, no nothing, just all the way out. And we'll be updating as much as we can.
All right.
Absolutely. It's been our pleasure to have you on the Eagle once again. Thank you for joining us.
Well, and thank y'all very much for
Yeah.
having us.
Thank y'all for coming, man. We certainly appreciate it. I think you guys have set the bar for whoever comes in next, you know. I mean, so we're always looking to improve the quality of everything, and we've had some great artists already, you know, but we really appreciate you guys coming out. You're the first trio that we've had. Everything else has been either solo or duo, so thank y'all again.
Yeah,
You might be,
absolutely.
for a quartet, you might need a rollout.
Yeah.
You know, Jason, we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Yeah, but it's been great. It's been great being with y'all today, and appreciate you reaching out to us and wanting us to do it.
Indeed, Jason. 2-time state fiddle champion Jason Baker with Mr. Sheldon Benjamin over here. Well, like I said, one of the best songwriters that I've heard, Mr. Zach Rogers over here. Thank you guys for tuning in.
We'll see you on the Eagle. Grant Starr, Justin Grimes, thanks for joining us. Shout out to my wife, Hannah Starr. She's
Hannah Starr.
the lovely lady behind the scenes over here shooting all this great footage, and we'll definitely check you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We're bringing you local content like you've not seen before on a grand scale in this time capsule that is Silver Eagle Sessions. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you later.
See you on the Eagle.
That's the reason you used to sing it, Mr. Grimes.
W.